everybody in YouTube. It is day 7 of the 12 days of soap. Today, Loofah in bed. Or is it? Tomorrow is going to be the interesting day, I think, when I have to cut it with the loofah in it. I don't know how that's going to work, but we're going to try it out and see how it does. Ooh, that's pretty cool. So I'm going to put the loofah into the tube, and we're going to make the same soap that we've been making the past couple of days. I'm going to use Bonsai, this fragrance oil from Brambleberry, which I've really enjoyed. It's kind of earthy, and it smells clean. I like it very much. So I'm going to use that. And I'm going to use, not as much as I usually do, but some of the calcium bentonite clay. It's a green facial clay. It's really good for cleansing. And so I'm hoping through this to make a really good scrubby soap. Now this is going to be interesting. I'm going to put it into the tube. Bloop. And it goes. So we have to make the soap and make sure that it doesn't come to a thick trace so that it can fill up all of the pores in there of the loofah sponge. And that's basically it for tonight. That's what we're going to attempt to do. And the really exciting part won't happen until we try to cut it. That I foresee issues because I have no idea how to cut this, whether or not my regular old knife is going to be able to cut it or if I'm going to have to use something with teeth. I'm going to use aloe vera in this as well. So nothing too funky is actually being added to the soap batch itself, but this is something I've always wanted to try. I saw it a few times, thought it was really neat, and finally got around to getting a loofah. And I guess you can get them off of websites and they come flat, and you actually have to put it in water and then it expands and then you let it dry out again in its expanded form. But I got mine this way at a health food store. Already all poofed out and everything. I don't know if that's going to change the way that this works either from how I've read up on it. So we've got our lye water. Nothing funky today. Sad. And we've got our oils heating up in here. So we are just about ready to start making our soap. Oh, it's exciting. Here's the clay I've been using, everybody. And I've used up to, sorry about that, I've used up to a tablespoon of this in the past, a tablespoon per pound. And I think I'm going to go with a ½ teaspoon or thereabouts for this batch, because I don't need it to be super duper cleansing because I've got the scrubby. So it's going to go in with the oils. Yay! And going to let the oils melt a little bit more and stir everything up. Done mixing this together, I will put the lye in there, and then I'll show you. I'll pick right back up once I put the lye in. There it is. Lye, lint, and all. So I just added the lye, and just like all of the other days, I'm going to try to incorporate this as best I can before I hit it with the stick blender. Nothing too new or exciting to report about today. Nothing is going to change funny colors. And this recipe that I've been using is pretty economical. I'm using canola oil in it because to do a batch of soap every day for 12 days, it's 12 pounds of soap, and I can't get away with using exotic oils every day. I would be spending an awful lot of money on oils, and I wanted to try out the techniques and the different ingredients before I decided to dump some of my favorite oils in here. Like, I really enjoy using avocado oil, and cocoa butter I love using. Jojoba I like using too, but I found a good place to get that locally, so whenever I feel like I need more, it's right there. I don't have to wait a few, a business week or two for it to come in. So I use the jojoba oil to super fat with, or have been for the past few days. For the past week now. I can say I've been doing this for a week. It's incorporating pretty nicely, so I'm going to hit it with a stick blender once or twice, a few spurts. Vroom, 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 vroom. Not forgetting to burp my immersion blender. I love that term. Soap technical terms are so much fun. That traced ridiculously quickly. So it's at trace right now. I have to work really fast now to get everything in there before it starts to get any thicker so that it'll fill up all the pores to my loofah. And of course I put the wicked saran wrap on my super fats again. Wicked saran wrap. Alright, in with the jojoba. I like jojoba too because even though it is a yellowy color, it doesn't discolor the soap too much, which I have problems with the olive oil. It gets a distinctive yellow look when I use the olive oil. A bit of the aloe vera. And of course, bonsai! Yes! Shoop. I love these little testers. They're wonderful. So once all of this is in very well, I'm going to have to hit it with the stick blender again just to be sure, so I don't get any accidental marbling with the super fats. It's happened to me once or twice before where I think I've got it very, very well mixed by hand, but then not so much. I realize once the soap is dried and cured and everything, there are some bits that are way more super fatted than others. So, women from yesteryears, I salute thee for having made soap by hand with no immersion blender. You must have had forearms of might and willpower second to none for standing over a pot of something that may or may not have turned into soap later. Hours later. This really does make it super fast. Like, this has taken me all of 10 minutes today. This is really incredible. Alright, I'm going to hit it with the stick blender, and then I will have the camera set up by then so that you can sort of see me pouring the soap into the mold.